There it goes. G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the content of my channel. If you missed my last video, part one of my self-ejecting drawbar and the retainer for it, there's a link up there now. You can go watch that first and then come back and watch this one. Alright, so let's head into the computer and I'll show you what we're going to do this week, because I need to make the drawbar itself. So let's head in there. Alrighty, so this is the new bolt that I'm going to make. Now that I can cut threads, I'll be able to thread that. It's 130 odd millimeters from the end of the thread to the to there, and then there's a 5 millimeter piece there that sits underneath the retainer. This bit pokes through the retainer, and then a nut to tighten it all up with. So that's what I'm going to be doing for to retain it with. I'll make that out of a piece of 1 inch round, so a lot of turning to get this down to 10 millimeters. So that's a 10 mil bolt, and it's a 1.5 mil pitch thread. So that's what we're going to be doing. Alrighty, time to do something about machining this thing down. This rusty old bit of scrapinium. It's bloody raining again today. I got absolutely soaked to the skin on the school run this morning. It wasn't raining when we left. Got half a kilometre up the road and started spitting. I thought, oh yeah, no problems, it'll stop. No, it didn't stop. It just got heavier and heavier and heavier all the way over and back. It's a 10 kilometre round trip over and back. I was soaked. And it's been raining on and off all day. Sometimes heavy, sometimes light. You can probably hear it on the roof now. Now before I get started on this, since I recorded that drawing, I've altered it a little bit, and as I decided to put up here a bronze bush underneath the head here, so that when I tighten it, it's not pulling down on the aluminium casting up the top there. So I've got to add that into it, but outside of that it's pretty much the same. So I'll machine this up. First up, we'll face it off, center drill it, put a live center in it, pull it out some more. It's about the absolute limit of the length I can do in here. If you're a follower of this old Tony, did you see the video he put out about burnishing? Made a burnishing tool, and one of my patrons came and sent me an email, and he said, did you see it? And said he wondered how would it go with two tools like an Irwin tool. But I saw a video today of a guy burnishing something using a bearing, but just one corner of it to kipped around, so it's just run on the corner. He's doing a fabulous job. Alrighty, so that's my tool post as far back as it will go. That's actually 10 millimeters longer than it sort of needs to be, because I want to leave myself some run in for when I start to thread it later. I have to say, that's one hell of a taper that just cut. It looks like it's a dodgy bit of material, because down here it's cutting all the way around again. Anyway, we'll make another cut back. Looks like we've got it all. I can't imagine that you want to watch me knock that down to 10 millimeters or 12 mil for a little bit just up here, so I'll bring you back later. Alrighty, it's 10.8. I drilled the spindle out 7/16 to 11 mil, and that's now 10.8, so it should fit down inside, but I might just take a little bit more off it, I think, maybe another 0.2 or so. I might leave chamfering them until I turn it around to the other end. It'll be easy to get at it from the other side. Alrighty, so that's actually, well, it's not that hot, but I'm sick of standing here. That's taken an hour and a half to do that. So I think I'm gonna, it's just about iced coffee o'clock, so I think I'll have a break for a while. Once again, I'm waiting for stuff to get here from AliExpress. I ordered threading tips, a different set of threading tips to thread this with, and some gears for the back more than 3 weeks ago, and they're still not here. In fact, I think it's the threading tips and the drive belts that I ordered haven't moved for 12 days or 13 days, something like that. I did ask them where the hell's my stuff, and they haven't really given me an answer. So they said, oh no, it's on time, don't worry about it. Yeah, right. Alright, so that's it. I think I'll just turn around later and do the back end of it while I keep waiting for this stuff to get here. Alrighty, so I was just doing a bit of editing while I was enjoying my iced coffee, and I thought, I sort of noticed the bit I talked about burnishing with a ball bearing. And I thought, why don't I come and give it a whirl, see how it goes, see how well it does work. Alright, I'll see if I can zoom that up. It's left like little lines all through it, but there is like a bit of a sharp edge here, but it's more rounded if I go around the bearing a bit more, so I might try rotating around just a little bit more, trying a different part of the bearing, see how it goes. I won't be able to get anywhere near the bloody shoulder with it anyway. What can I get? Alright. Let me get up even closer maybe. Alright. Oil on there. I'll come back this way with it. Well, that gave me an even worse result. So anyway, I finally got out to buy some emery tape the other day, so I might just clean up the emery, but I won't bother with that. Alrighty, late yesterday afternoon, these two bloody sprockets, gears, whatever they bloody what I'll call them, drive sprockets, showed up, but still no sign of the belts or the threading tips. Alrighty, I'm a little bit torn as to whether I should, because it's only 10 mil or better 10 mil, put a centre in this to try and turn this to stop it from bending around. But first up, I'll just chamfer this back edge, get that out of the bloody way. I used to run out a little bit this thing, but anyway. So the way that was singing then is vibrating. I think I might push it back in, just face it off, put a centre in it, and put the live centre up in the thing. I think I'll put this little itsy bitsy centre I've got in there, because I don't want a huge hole in the top of the nut. A couple of guys in the village flogging stuff, that's what the dogs are going on about. Time for a sanity check. 21, still another 2mm come off that yet. Should be the last pass to get that down to size. 19.8 mm. Alrighty, meant to take some measurements before I started doing this. Back shortly. Nothing like being prepared, is it? That's right, absolutely nothing like it. Alrighty, let's have us some chamfers. I'll have to pull it out of there a bit and do that one. Alrighty, so I'll get it out of there now and take it over to the mill and mill a hex on here. Now I may have shot myself in the foot because I don't have an 11mm collet to fit that, so I may have to use a 12mm, wrap a bit of aluminium can or something around. I've got to, if that won't quite fit in there, I'll have to use a 1/2 inch and do the same with that. That's a bit hot at the moment, so I'll give that just a few minutes to cool down so I can handle it easier, and I'll get it out there and put it in the mill. Alrighty, so set this up and then went inside, had some lunch, so let's do this. What the hell is going on here? I think that cutter just pushed in. Maybe I didn't tighten it up. No, I didn't. Dickhead. I have to kind of play games with the bloody nut off this thing, off this hexagon collar holder. Wouldn't fit, that collet wouldn't fit in it, so I had to go and pinch it off another one. A bit of Singha beer can solved my not being able to clamp it up problem. 0 on this again. Oh, it pushed in at 1.4mm. Alrighty, so I got that right. Will a 16mm socket fit that? Yeah, a little bit loose, but it'll do. I worked it out in FreeCAD, what diameters and how much I needed to take off it, and I actually took a little bit less. That said 1.24mm, but I only took 1.2. Anyway, I'll get that back on the lathe, put a bit more of a chamfer on the front, clean this back up, get rid of the burrs off it, and then we'll do something about threading the back end of it if I can ever get what I need to do it. If I have to, I'll make a belt and try threading it with the smaller threading tips that I've already got. Alrighty, so that's got that looking all spiffy. I've just been chasing up this stuff from AliExpress, and I sent an email or a message to one of the suppliers, the one I got onto the other day, who said, look, it's still in transit, don't worry about it. And said, look, the due date was yesterday, it's still not here, so how about you try and be a good supplier and see if you can track it down. And they came back with the shipping agent has suggested that it is lost in transit and I should open a dispute and get a refund. While I was trying to figure out how to open a dispute, I suddenly got an email which tells me that both those items are here in Thailand and undergoing import customs clearance. So who knows? I mean, they don't seem to know what the hell's going on, do they? But anyway, so hopefully I'll have that stuff in the next couple of days, so we'll be able to get this damn thing finished. Alrighty, so those bits I'm waiting on have confirmed as having been collected by the local transport company, so I should have that in the next day or two. There's still a couple of little things I can get done in the meantime, and make this bronze bush up that fits in here, and also get this fitted up on the top of the pulley. It's fitting there now. Alrighty. Chamfer. Beautiful, tit free. I love it. Alrighty, give this a little deburr by hand. Alrighty, so that looks pretty good. Anyway, I'll know for sure if it's in there deep enough. I did measure it all up. Is to sit it up on top and make sure that it has got a little bit of looseness in the bolt. So we'll do that next. Alrighty, so just fired that up a second ago and just sort of ran the file across the top there just to tidy it up a bit. I don't want to go to the trouble of pulling all this off if I can avoid it. So get that on there. This thing on. Oh shit, I just thought of something. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know that I can get that on there. I fucking can't. Shit. Never thought of that. Bloody bolt bugger. I might have to get in and just mill the back edge off here, so that it's got room to get that in there. Not far off going on. What a bugger. No, do what you got to do, I suppose. The alternative is to knock the belt off and try and push this back in a bit, but it can't go back much further than it already is. So that might be my only option, is to just mill a flat across here and just hope we can get it on that one. Alright, so we'll do that. Right, I'll get that out of there and see if that solved the problem. Alrighty, let's drop that in there. Get this thing out of here, just taking it out of the bicep. Pleased if this didn't solve it. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, beauty, yeah, right, that sets down nicely. Just that little bit of float that I was looking for. Alright, so we'll get some holes drilled and tapped in here. And then all we need to do then is thread this thing and we're done. Alrighty, so these two belts and the threading tips I was waiting on finally showed up here about 6 o'clock last night. So I'll get this plastic pulley, sprocket, whatever off there that I printed up, get the aluminium one on, but it looks like I'll have to shove a reamer or something through there because that won't fit on for some reason. And then we'll get that all set up and then we'll get that threading tip in, get it all centered up, and we'll do something about cutting this thread. Well, I'm not sure what's going on here. That is not the belt I was just waiting for. They were the belts that I ordered to replace the one I made for threading 1.25mm pitch. And I got this one out, one that just arrived, which is 294 teeth. These are 273 teeth, and it's like way too big, miles too big. So I don't know what I'm doing here now. I don't know how I arrived at that. Maybe that's I ordered a belt for the 35 or the 40 tooth ones, I don't know, for 1.75 and 2mm pitch. I'm at a loss of what I'm doing here now. I'm just completely baffled. But anyway, that one there fits. I was thinking I was going to have to make one until I suddenly thought, I'll go and look and make sure I order the right belts. And then I looked at the length of that and I thought, nah, Jesus, that's 20 odd teeth less than this one. Maybe it'll fit. And it does. So I'll get on with it. Alrighty, so let's do this. Forgot to mention the last time I cut a thread that I got around the vroom thing that happens, you know, when you first sort of put it into sort of drive. I got around that by turning the speed right down to nothing, turning it on to forward or reverse, and then just dialing some speed into it rather than leaving the speed set and just turning the spindle on and off. Kind of got me around that issue. So let's hope it works again this time. So we'll just take a scratch pass and check it. On out a little bit. Camera's in the friggin' way again. I've got a better view than me. That looks pretty good. like the way that pushes out all of a sudden when just as it starts to cut. Not liking that, that's rough as guts. Again, I'm not feeding in that way with the compound because I haven't got it on. I hate the thing. It's a truly awful looking thread. Well, that's pretty horrible. I'm going to turn this camera off because it's getting a bit long, this recording. So, and you haven't seen half of what I'm going to edit out, half of what I've just done. But I did buy a thread file. I said a while back when I first started cutting these threads, I wish I had one, but I've got one now. So I'm just going to run a thread file up a little bit, file a bit of tape, and then we'll try a nut on it. Alrighty, after a little bit of refining, I've got it there. I'm lucky to stuff it right up. I picked up a wrong bloody nut. I dug out a couple of nuts yesterday, including this one, which has just been tapped. And I think this one's actually a little big, but that's bloody sloppy as on there now. Yeah, I had the wrong pitch nut trying to screw the bloody thing on. Anyway, get something with it. Got a fit up in the spindle and try it on it. Oh, actually, before I do that, I need to get rid of this. Alrighty, so I hope this is not really sloppy on there. I'll bloody spit if it is. Because I don't want it bloody stripping. Oh yeah, that's crap. No, it's not too bad once it gets all out there, so hopefully it'll be alright. How stupid, I grabbed the wrong nut. Anyway, that's life. Actually, I'll get it out of there and go and try it in the spindle. Make sure I'm going to chop a little bit more off the end here. No, that's perfect. It's lengthwise. It's got a good 10 mil or more in there, so hopefully it won't strip. Anyway, so I still haven't drilled the top to this thing yet, so but now we're there, nearly there. So I'll drill and tap these, and then we'll see how well it works. If you're like me and you don't live in your home country but you want to access things but you're finding that they're geo-blocked, then you need either a VPN or a DNS proxy server. If you're finding the VPNs are just too slow, they slow everything down too much, then once again you need a DNS proxy server. Now I stream stuff from Australia, which is all geo-blocked. I've been using for years now Smart DNS Proxy, and it does a great job. No buffering issues, no problems. So even if you don't live outside your country, you want to access something that's not in your country but it's elsewhere, once again a DNS proxy servers to go. So have a look at Smart DNS Proxy, you'll find it's a great little thing. Link in the description. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. This continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now let's get back to the build. Alrighty, so while you guys weren't looking, I drilled and tapped these 4 holes in here. And also while you weren't looking, what have we done? I set this back up and cleaned up these the ends of the welds. I really do wish I'd gone all the way around with the welds and then drilled these holes afterwards. But anyway, it is what it is. I'll get this set up on here. Now this bronze bush, I want to run a bit of oil on here, but on the top here, probably should have had a bronze bush top and bottom, to be honest with you. Anyway, because there's probably just as much force at times going upwards as there is going down. But anyway, I'll just a bit of oil on the face that has to run on the bush. And I'll use a bit of extreme pressure grease up on this one, where it's going to be running steel on steel. As like I said, I think it's probably more pressure to push this thing out than it is to pull it in. So I've got a second camera set up here at the moment. I'm going to when I go to pop this out, because that's pulled up, the collet chuck's pulled up tight in there at the moment, so when I go to pop it out, I'll have 2 cameras running so you can see what's going on. Oh no, now the camera just turned itself off. I had it all set up waiting, but I'll turn it back on in a minute. So we'll get these 4 bolts in here. I really do hope this works. I bought an impact wrench a while back, and I haven't even pulled out of the cupboard to use it. But I thought, yeah, I'll probably use it on this. But the fact that I've made that bloody thread a bit too small, I'm a bit loath to use it, because I really don't want to strip that thread off there. So today I'm just going to use the socket and the ratchet to do this. If I have to somewhere down the track, I'll make another bolt. I hope after all this work, this works. Anyway, yeah, so I'll tighten it up, just make absolutely certain it's nice and tight, pull up there where it should be. Righto, that's tight. I'll give it a moment, I'll get this other camera turned on. Righto, that's recording. Now we'll see if we can get this thing to eject. Oh, there it goes. Just popped it. Might work a bit better with the impact wrench on it, but there it is right there. Alrighty, if you've enjoyed watching me make this, how about do me a favour and smashing that like button, giving it a great big thumbs up, because it kind of helps me out. I hope you did enjoy it, and I'll see you all next week for something else. Not sure, actually I know what I mean. I'm going to make a tool next week, a double-ended tool. I won't say what it is and what it's for, but come back next week and find out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.